On today's episode, we get into Sino from Ironheart Season 2 with SB19.
Yeah.
Hear us talk about some things like, is Michael Jackson back from the dead? How good really is this mix? And finally, what was the last thing we talked about again?
The pressure.
The pressure.
The surface pressure.
I felt all kinds of pressure by saying that right there.
The pressure.
Is the pressure too much?
Oh, hell no!
Find out right after this.
Great day to play. Great day to play.
It's a great day to play, everybody. Welcome on into the channel.
Yeah!
You seem like you're going to murder them right now.
No, I'm just really excited. What?
It's your first time here, or you're joining us. Thank you for being here with us today. You're loved, appreciated, always welcome here on this channel, and you are.
Enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. You okay now?
Yeah. To seem super confident, you have to laugh first to get all of the
See, your laugh doesn't seem like confidence. Your laugh seems like you just escaped a mental asylum. Like
That's
you're gonna be in the
crazy
next
thing to
Batman
say.
movie.
That's a crazy thing
As
to
the
say
villain.
that you're saying, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one. And then the big eyes
Yeah.
when they're like this when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I feel like I sound like keep my wife's
All right. Today, SB19's just been throwing stuff out. They're like out here on a world tour, just, you know, cranking out content while they're out and about. This is Pablo and Josh from SB19, Sino from Ironheart Season 2. So this is like an OST.
Okay.
that
All
they're
right.
doing.
All right.
They're everywhere.
Ah, sweet.
Oh God, I can't with you right now.
Sorry. I'm trying something new. Give me a break.
It's not a thing. Don't make it a thing.
Yeah.
And you switched like three
Yeah.
times about like your persona. Like it went from ha 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 ha,
Yeah.
and then it was like ha ha, and now it's like
Well,
ha ha.
well,
like,
I'm trying to calm it down just a bit. I understand what you were saying before. It's an edit.
it's a what?
It's an edit.
It's an edit. That's
Yeah.
not what I heard you say.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an edit.
If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow along with our journey. Check out our live streams Saturdays and our brand new single, My Light, that's out now. Plus, if you want to check out our journey as we go on to the Philippines, don't forget to check out our other channel, GidKidDad Family Vlogs, and you're going to want to be leaving those comments down below with these secret emojis, because as soon as we land in the Philippines, prizes are coming your way. So you're going to want to subscribe as well. But you ready? Oh, God. Not.
You're just like, I'm not going
Damn
to
it.
talk to him ever again.
I'm not even just going on. Just going on.
Ooh, I like the noises so far.
Sa panahong madilim at sumabog sa paligid ang
I like that synth back there.
matatakot ka na lang
Right.
sa lahat.
Yeah.
Right.
At di man lang ba mag-aaklas kung ikaw may lakas at kaya mong baguhin bukas. Akas na lang ang magbabalangkas. Pag-asa hahayaan bang lumipas? Sino ka ba? Mabuti o sama-sama magkakapili ba? Ano ba ang
Dude, those drops in there. So nice.
We both got the same vibe in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
The MJ?
Shimona.
Yeah, just...
Yeah.
Dude, but like, this is so moving.
Yeah.
And like, it's a pop song, but it's like, it's so good.
Do you ever, like, speaking of him, there's a few artists in the world that I always sit there and I wonder, like, what would happen today if they were still around? Like artists like Michael Jackson, who like knew how to move with the industry, right? Like he always had his own flavor, but like he like knew how to move along. Like he could go along and write for the next generation, the next generation of like. I always think about that of like, what would it be like to have collabs like that? You know
Could
what
you
I mean?
imagine?
Like especially with like K-pop today and like
dude.
K-pop and like some of the
Dude.
dancers and the vocals. Like how cool those shows would have ended up being.
He would have like, just imagine Michael Jackson in front of an 808. Just how amazing! Like, imagine Michael Jackson and The Weeknd on the same song. And you're like, which one? I don't know which ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it'd be so good. In fact, the Dr. Dre turned down working with Michael Jackson.
Really?
Michael Jackson asked to work with him, and he turned it down.
Huh.
So he was on the cusp of like, he was like, I see what's happening. I'm gonna go do this. And Dre said no.
Interesting.
Because he
Fun
just,
fact.
I saw it on a interview with Kevin Hart.
Okay.
But he said no because he was like, I don't know what I would do for him. Like, I don't know what I can do for him that no one else can do.
Right.
So, like, you know, not why waste my time, but more like, why would I put myself through that?
Yeah, what do I do?
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I know this is a divergent, but we hear a lot of this, you know, in quite a few of these artists. You hear that in Pablo's voice. A lot of times, I hear that rasp and that growl, you know, and I just think about that.
His vocal is full, but then there's a hollowness to it too. Like there's a space inside of his vocal that's not there, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like it's like his.
It's like it's got its own EQ.
Yeah.
It's like carved out.
Yeah.
Sino bang dapat magsabi kung tama? Nabubuhay ka ba para sa sarili o magmamahal sa mga api? Kalaban ba o bayani? Tingnan ang sarili. Ikaw ang mamili. Who decides how will ever do? The demons try to break you from within. Know that evil tries to hurt the purest souls. Don't give up now, that's the way it goes. When the tears are flowing down and trying to make it feel like you're lost, you're calling for help, no one even cares to respond. No one's invincible now.
Even like the way that like the melody is written in those parts just sounds so way to respond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's such a it's so good.
It's not a secret that of course they probably
of course.
You know?
It's and again this is one of the, it's a compliment, right? Like
no 100%.
It's a compliment, man. Like wow. I love that way to respond.
You're calling for help, no one even cares to respond. No one's invincible, not even heroes. Who are you now? Which point of view? The choice between evil and good is on you. Why try to justify the end when some lives have been broken along the illusion of freedom? But there's a chance of a war. We refuse to see devil in me. You let me get to persuade me. A lot I've been waiting. Sino bang tinutugis mo dito? Kanino ba dapat ibaling ang galit sa kawalan ng katarungan? Sa natatakbuhan kung inapakan ng karapatan? Sino ba ang nagkamali dito at bakit nagtuturuan? Bumatola ng una kung sino walang kasalanan. Who are you now? Which point of view? The choice between evil and good is on you. Why try to justify the end when
I love that this song is written. There's one, I don't know who mixed this.
I was just about to talk about the mix.
The chorus, like it's like the verses seemed fine.
Yes.
There was room, but the minute that all of a sudden they added in all
the
those
other
layers
stuff.
and stuff,
Yeah.
it's like all of a sudden the vocals
kind of
got
disappear.
lost.
Yeah.
And then like there was like in the mixing of the vocals, it was almost like they just took a huge chunk of the bottom end of the vocal and just like it was like instead of like cutting it off at like 40, they cut it off at like 300.
Yeah.
It was like it's like there's this huge chunk missing
the
out of the bottom.
the mids for the vocals aren't really there.
Yeah.
Like from like 100 to like 200 to 300
Yeah,
aren't
it's like
there.
it's just gone.
Yeah.
And like
The warmth.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And then like of course because they didn't make space for. It's probably just because everything's right there.
Right.
So they didn't EQ it and they didn't make space for
Hey,
it.
you know what's hard? Strings, dude. Mixing strings into something big like this, especially synth strings.
Yeah.
That's what's eating those vocals.
Because they take up the same. They take up that 200 to 400.
Yeah, exactly. Those to have warmth in your strings at all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they just sound like someone like hitting just metal stuff. So, yeah.
This is where though, like you can even and again, this was for an OST. So if they were the ones paying for it, we don't know how much money they had in the budget and stuff like that. But like this is where doing active, like you have to go in and you have to automate your EQs, and like it has to change during these parts. You have to lower those levels just a little bit and change them just during these portions.
In this part, anything that's taking up that space, so the strings, boom, you have you have a dynamic EQ sidechain to that, so that anytime the vocal is going, it takes out that, it ducks it, and then when it stops going, it so you can automate it. It doesn't have to be something super hard. You just automate it with the thing. Because you can tell, like, the second those strings come in, the vocals are just like, they go from, you know, like.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of like the best way, because we go through and we say all this, and like we're saying things I know people don't understand. The best way to be able to describe it from a physical point of view is like, okay, we got some pens here. I'm trying to look. Okay, so let's say this is just a normal line, right?
Yep.
And then frequency, some of the frequencies are up here, some of the frequencies are down here, and your ear hears different versions of that. If you try to put everything on the same line, something's going to get covered.
Yes.
So what he's talking about is like, let's say that this is the frequency of 400, where you hear a lot of those mids, and every single time that the vocal would come in, there's actually programs in there that would allow the other ones, it would duck out this line. So let's say this one is our strings and this one's the vocals. It will take it out and put it back in every single time that vocal comes in to leave more space in the mix for the vocals. You can't actually hear it ducking out because the vocals are taking up that space now.
Right.
But that's where when you get these big songs, especially like you said, strings, synths is the biggest problem in pop music, because synths take up everything from up here to down here a lot of times.
Yeah, they're giant.
So that's what he means by that ducking aspect of the way that works. But it's like, it's just like it feels like such a missed opportunity when you have like this great song. Yeah,
and the chorus is
fire. And the chorus is awesome, but yet the voices are being overshadowed a little bit by how much is going on in it.
I will say it's the mix is still good.
Yeah.
It's just the chorus is the spot where you want that vocal to really shine out. And all of the other stuff that they did with it, the reverb throws, the delay, and everything
drops.
Everything else is perfect. It's just the vocals got a little lost.
Right.
That's all.
Some lives have been broken alone. Illusion of freedom, there's a truth of the war. We refuse to see devil in me. You may get to persuade me. A lot out and waiting.
I love the drops. I like that little lick. It's only in there a couple times, but I like it.
Dude, this is
very cool.
Such a fire song, dude.
Of time left. Is there something that's coming? Or
I don't know.
No.
Oh.
All right. It is a really good song.
Yeah. Dude, it's so good.
It's very, very memorable.
Yeah.
Man.
These guys are, like, when people say that they're the next, when people say that they're like the next BTS, or they're gonna be the BTS from the Philippines, like, you hear it and you're like, yeah, maybe, but then you hear their music that they keep coming. I mean, they just released a fire album. They just did another song and then another song, and it's like they're getting to the point where like their music is becoming undeniable.
Yeah. The interesting part about everything is it's funny because when people say like when you say like people talking about them being the next so and so, right? I think what makes them special, and you know that the reason that they're going to be the next anything is because they're in that conversation period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because let's be honest, they're not going to be the next anything. They are going to be the thing.
Yes.
And then people are going to be trying to be
them. Yes.
Right? And I think that there's a lot to be said about, again, their journey, what they had to go through to get to where they already are, them leaving and becoming their own management company. And I think that this is hopefully, while there's going to take a little bit of time to recuperate, because once you leave a place with a lot more money, you of course have to do your own things with money now. But I think that's going to pave the way for a lot of artists to be able to see that there is another way to do things.
Yes.
Making it as an independent artist is not unheard of anymore. In fact, it's becoming more and more of the norm. You see more of these bigger artists that are now foregoing contracts intentionally, even when they get something a little bit earlier on because they believe in their music and their craft, and they're like, okay, well, I might not be getting the injection right now, but I also know that I'm not giving up a much larger portion of my income to do this, and if, and my creative freedom, which is the biggest part for a lot of artists.
If they can make it through this next year, possibly 2 years of being on their own, and all of the struggles that come with being on their own, financial struggles are the biggest thing that will destroy relationships between people. You know what I mean? So if they can make it through this next year or two and continue to make music like this, they're going to explode. They're going to be in a place where they never imagined they'd be.
Yeah. Well, and let's be honest that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be invested in their success. It shouldn't be hard for them to find sponsors. It shouldn't be hard for them to find extra income once they get back, because people, like, they are putting the Philippines on the map right now. Right? Like, they are the people. They just won the BBMA fan army awards over like 17, and like it's because everybody in the Philippines is like all coming together to be able to support them and make sure that that puts them on the map, and it does. And I think it was the same thing. That is, I think a lot of times the similarities between BTS actually come from the fact that BTS did something similar by putting Korea on the map. And also did the same thing in terms of like, yes, they had a better management company, but they went against the grain of the system. They didn't do what was expected of them. They didn't write the type of music that like everybody else was writing at the time. They went their own path and they made it. And I think that's where those comparisons lie, because you see a lot of that in SB19, where they're like, we're gonna get there, but we're gonna get there on our terms.
And they're basically building an industry. They're building a path and building an industry that hasn't gone as far as they've gone yet. There have people been before them, of course, right? But like,
nothing on the global scale, though, of what they're getting recognition-wise in the rest of the world.
There's not another group from there that could have went to Dallas and had a following like that,
or anywhere.
Well,
Dallas
is
such. You're right. Dallas is such and Dallas is not an easy place to go into, because it's not like you're not in a more progressive hub where you're going to find a lot of that fan base.
I mean, it wasn't there. It's not Luke Mills Morrison or whatever. You know what I mean? Some guy with 3 names.
Yeah. So very, very, very cool. I really, really like this. Thank you to them, and keep up the hard work. I think about, we just had this conversation. What?
Come over this way a little bit. Your face is the microphone is just your mouth.
It's weird because this new space. I just think about this because we're having the conversation again, though, about the amount of immense pressure that they must feel.
Dude.
Because it is a lot of weight on them, and a lot of people look up to them, and they know that. Like, they know that it is partially on their shoulders, which I think is why they get so much support, because people are trying to lessen the weight as much as possible. But, I want to make sure that, like, the fans and, like, people like us that watch and want to work with them and stuff like that, that they also know that, like, we have their backs regardless. Like, at some point in time, like, they're gonna be tired. They're gonna need breaks. They need some mental, vacationing. Essentially, and I hope that they don't feel too much pressure where they think that they can't take that time for themselves and
Yeah,
know that people are going to be here for them.
Because people can burn out.
regardless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the last thing that we want is for that to happen, for them to burn out. And again, it's one thing to be the star and the idol and do the things that they're doing, but to then do it and have everybody looking at you and put that pressure and the weight on you. It's a lot to carry.
And not to mention, since they're independently managed, the people that are in their camp are relying on them for their bills, to
pay their family. Yeah.
So like it's a lot of stress for just, and when I say just a group of guys, I mean exactly that, because they're just a group of dudes who happen to be very, very good at what they do, very, very beautiful young men, but like they're just dudes still.
Yeah.
So like it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy this. Please, please, please leave your comments down below. We do love to read them. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow along with their journey, check out our live streams, check out our brand new channel, the GidKidDad Family Vlogs channel, if you want to see our journey to the Philippines. And also, don't forget to leave your secret emojis in those comments along with your subscription to win free prizes that you're going to be getting really soon, because we're almost in the Philippines. And that secret emoji is
banana
milk.
Banana milk.
Banana milk, which is also delicious.
You just picked a word that usually comes after the word I said.
Yeah, a little bit. And it's worked almost every single time today. You know,
well.
Pizza Planet, banana milk.
Yeah.
You know, it's
dog.
Cat.
Food is the word.
Oh, well, food is not really its own emoji. There's a bunch of things for food.
Well, okay.
If nobody told you that they love you today, please don't forget that we love you. You're appreciated, always welcome here in this channel, and you are enough. And last but certainly not least,
it was a great day to play.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.
Bye.